Okay, hi, I'm Oz from 4x4audio.com. This is the Stinger High 10 for the Landrover Defender Puma, so 2007 onwards. Now 2012 onwards I'll give you a couple of extra features that you won't get from 2007 to 2012, but I'll go through that in a sec. So, first impressions. After spending 10 years fitting double DIN units into Defenders, it's massive. It looks really, really big, and it does take a little getting used to. However, the screen size is very, very good, and the fact that it sits higher in the dash I also like. Now you lose your two centre vents and your clock. There is a clock on the unit, which you can see at the top there. And it's big, like I say, it's big. The graphics are a little bit agricultural, but again, I don't mind. It's not as slick looking as perhaps a Pioneer or an Alpine, but again, I don't mind it. It's touchscreen, and it's big enough to, the icons are big enough to easily navigate whilst you're driving. And obviously, you know, we can get a little bit of a bumpy old drive on the Defenders. All your switches are centralised, so you don't have the blanking plate to the right hand side, or the left if it's a left hand drive, as you would do normally. It's functional, it's pretty quick on the uptake. You know, you've got the functions that you'd expect on any modern radio, to be honest. You've got camera inputs, so you've got your reversing camera, but you've also got another inputs for another three, up to 4 cameras at a time, so another 3. So sometimes we're asked for a front camera and a reverse camera. That can be done. Sometimes we're asked for a reverse camera and a camera to view the towing hitch. That can be done. All 3 could be done. If you wanted rock slider cameras, again, that could be done. It all works well. It's got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which generally you'd use for your music, your navigation, etc. However, there is an SD card slot for navigation for the Stinger unit. I haven't played with that yet because they haven't landed in the country as of yet. But they're a few £100 for the internal navigation. I'm using Android Auto on this, and as you can see, everything you'd expect to get with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, etc. Your split screens and what have you. Now this unit comes as a wired input, but I'm sure making it wireless isn't beyond the wit of man, using something like an AutoCast, something like that. Also got an iPod input or a secondary USB for music, etc, etc. Your audio settings are pretty standard. You've got your fader balance, built-in EQ with 6 presets, crossover points, time correction if you want to go through it all. With the setup that we have in here, I don't think it's really worth doing, but I will have a play with that when we put in one of our upgraded audio systems. And you've got factory EQs, which again it's not appealing to the eye, but it does work, and it's not something that you're going to have on very often. Now on the 2012 onwards, you also have some additional settings. It gives you, it links to the vehicle's ECU and top display, and gives you some vehicle information. So oil temperature, coolant temperature, intake air temperature, battery voltage, the calculated load, etc, etc, which all operates. You have a performance setting, which is a bit much for a Defender, but it'll time your 0 to 60 speeds if you want to do some drag racing. But the rev counter works and operates as it should. The speedo also works and operates as it should within a couple of miles an hour in terms of the clock in front of you on the dashboard. You have off-road performance now. I haven't calibrated apparently you have to drive the vehicle for the calibration for the pitch and roll, so I haven't calibrated the pitch and roll. I can tell you that the compass and the altitude work via the GPS. That comes with the unit. So the pitch and roll, from what they tell me, that should calibrate, and it'll give you that as well. Possibly handy if you're camping, or possibly you know, a gimmick if you're not. But all in all, I like it. I like the size, I like the scope, I like the look. Yeah, I think this is going to be a big seller. So if you'd like any more information, by all means please get in touch with us at 4x4audio.com. Thanks for your time.